It's Monday night, people, and you know what that means.
Beer? Alcohol?
Well, that's just any other day of the week.
Well, I mean, sure.
Hmm. Ladies
How
and
you doing
gentlemen,
tonight, Buck?
I'm half awake apparently. I was fine up until about 5 minutes ago.
You mean when you started drinking?
I just now opened my beer. This is the first one I've had. I don't fucking know.
Your
Well,
your body was anticipating the alcohol, so it just started putting itself to sleep.
I guess it's like we know what's gonna happen. So we're just gonna have a little pre-nap before the main event, which is drinking. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Locked and Loaded. I'm sure from the title you can tell what we're going to talk about tonight. Pig will be joining us, I think. Said he'll be coming in a little later, but we'll see if he's actually feeling up to jumping on the stream tonight. So for now, it's just going to be Pav and I. Woo-hoo.
Yes.
So what did you say you were drinking?
Just rum and coke.
Okay,
My
basic.
old typical, yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I switched to Shandy because I just wanted something lighter. I've been drinking a lot of like IPAs and shit, and waking up with headaches. It's like, okay, maybe we should just scale it back a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, that's probably a good thing to do just in general anyway.
Uh-huh.
This is like my first amount of alcohol in the last month. I don't really drink anymore.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be, but well, here I am. Oh my god, I can see now. It's really nice to have clean glasses.
Why were they not clean? And why didn't you clean them before now?
I don't know. Just realized everything was really cloudy, and so hey, let's just fix this right now. Oh, I forgot how good these are.
What are they exactly?
Summer Shandy. It's a Weiss beer, which is like really light. It's a wheat beer, and it's brewed with honey, and it's basically like a Hefeweizen and lemonade.
A Hefeweizen.
Yeah, so like
Interesting.
not too hoppy, kind of a weedy taste, but not too weedy, and yeah, it's nice. And if if it were summer and today were not rainy, it'd be even better because because they're so light, they're really really good when it's hot out. So they're like
Okay.
they're kind of like Mike's, but not as gay.
Well, damn.
I don't know how else to describe it.
just not as gay.
Oh man,
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I think I just scared someone off with that. I like Mike's. Fuck these guys. Oh man.
Asshole.
Merc, I think Pig just had a long day at work, so if he wants to take the night off, that's up to him. My day was all of 3 hours, so.
Yeah, I've spent most of the morning, most of the day just getting over the fact that I'm uh, yeah,
Meh, you're just meh today.
yeah.
That's been like me all week, so. Yeah, finally something went right at work, and dispatch didn't go until after after 7:30. On Friday we chose to dispatch the leftover morning routes before we even touched our same day stuff, and holy fuck did that work nicely, because then we weren't trying to stick these huge ass routes with 3-hour drivers. So like the way it works is same day routes are supposed to take about 3 hours to deliver. So we would do those first, but you'd have drivers showing up to take 3.5 hour routes, and we'd be handing them 3-hour routes, so they were pretty happy. But the leftover
Okay.
morning routes that are also for a 3-hour block have like 20 more packages than our average same day route. So like a same day route would be, let's say about 30 packages. The leftover loadout routes for a 3-hour block would be around 50. And after we got same day out, we'd have drivers that were, you know, 3 hours or less than 3 hours coming in and having to load up like 40 packages, and they weren't happy. We weren't happy because we had to like try and figure out how the hell we're going to take all these commercial packages off because the businesses were already closed. And it's just like, fuck. Why are we trying to get rid of all these heavy routes after the light ones go out? I mean, it is important that same day goes out first, but because like the earlier drivers, we give them a heavier route, they still have a good buffer zone until their app shuts off at 9 o'clock. Whereas the later drivers don't have that buffer zone. If they're held up, then there's a good chance they're going to get penalized for late delivery, even though it's not their fault. It's just like, it's trying to fucking appease everybody here. And now Friday we did the leftover morning routes first, then same day, and that worked so much better. Because I think we were done by like 7:15 as opposed to almost 8. There were 2 nights yesterday where I stayed until like 8 or 8:30, which when you're off at 6, it's like, oh god, why? I mean, I'm gonna have a nice paycheck since I got like 25 or 26 hours when I was supposed to get 20, but what are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah, I think I worked 29 hours this last week.
Good.
And then this week I'm working 26.
That's
And then next week yeah.
That's a good bump up from what it was at 19 before or whatever the hell.
Yeah, see the week this week I'm getting 26. Next week I'm getting 20 or the 19. And then she said the next week after that I'm probably going to be getting 29.
So
typically you don't
flux.
Well, it's always in flux, but this is the first time like in 3, 4, no, more than that, 5 months that I've actually worked with my manager. Normally I work on days she's not there, or a shift after she's there. Yeah. But so because this last week, all those days that I worked, I ended up working with her for the beginning hour of my shift. She decided to start letting me know what she's scheduling me at. So I have a little bit of better understanding, as long as things continue that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure, and there is a pig that is now here.
Oink, oink.
Hey.
Swine.
How's it going, fellas?
Not bad. It's just another Monday.
I'm drinking alcohol.
For once in a couple of months.
Right?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. How are you doing?
I could be better.
Yeah.
Be a lot worse, but could be better.
Long day.
Long week last week.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just freaking.
And it's only gonna ramp up.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it wasn't like a stressful, shitty week. It was just a long week. And I'm okay with that. I like working. It's just, come on now. I'm leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning and not getting home till 7 o'clock at night.
Oof.
It's not very fun.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's mostly due to the fact that I have to drive back to the shop first and then drive home. So I'm ending my day usually between 4 and 5, sometimes as late as 6.
Okay.
But it's like 2 hours of driving home
Oof.
So it's an hour. Sometimes it's an hour up back to the shop. Sometimes it's as little as 30 minutes, but it's usually at least 30 minutes back to the shop. And then another 45 minutes to an hour home because traffic.
Yeah, that sounds like fucking fun.
Yeah, it's not gonna change until I move closer or move to a place where I can, store my work truck at home.
All right.
Yeah.
So, a while.
Yep. Feel you there. I hear my folks just told me today, like, hey, when summer comes around, we might be asking you to take days off at Amazon to do prep work. And I'm like, well, we'll see what days they give me VTO. Like, this week, I don't know why, there's a VTO opportunity, I think, every day. And I thought about just taking tomorrow off. Either tomorrow
What's
off or Friday
VTO?
off. Voluntary time off. That's like the company saying, hey, we are actively looking for people to not come in because we are going over on the number of hours allowed for the building.
Man, I'd take that.
So, I know. Well, here
I'd lose out on money, though.
Yeah, I just made a huge student loan payment, so I'm like, maybe not this week. Maybe next week. We'll see.
Yeah, I finally just started getting my Navy Fed stuff out of delinquency.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, I haven't been able to make a payment, and they haven't been willing to work with me until now.
Huh.
So, finally got somebody who was willing to actually hear me out and understand that I was in a really difficult financial situation.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm able to actually start making payments on it, and feels good.
Yeah, sweet.
My work time is about to increase significantly. Because I'm about to have 2 jobs technically.
You're about to have 2 jobs?
I thought you
Yeah.
already had 2 jobs. Just one that never paid because it was more of a hobby.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so I spent most of today actually dealing with the fact that I've been offered to become a oh god, I've forgotten the term.
Apprentice.
Apprentice
Tell me, yeah.
of a boat technician.
Boat technician?
Yeah, so they install navigational systems, auto driving systems, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And so for now, I'm going to just be going in and learning as much as I can, and then once I've gotten to the point where he feels that I can actually help him with what he's doing, he's gonna start me off at 25 an hour.
Damn. That's nice.
Yeah. So
Finally getting back into the blue collar world, huh?
out of this shitty job.
Man, when the bums fall, y'all are gonna be out on a boat, and I'll be like, I can make sandwiches and move boxes.
Just
I
get
can-
in. Just
I
get
can
in the
I can
boat.
I can make sure that your AC doesn't die. No, I'm really good with motors.
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Because just about everything is run by motors.
Yeah. See,
They're electrical motors, but they're motors.
I'm not entirely sure that's what I'm going to be dealing with. I think I'm going to be dealing with specifically
Electronic
networking,
equipment.
electronics, yeah, that kind of stuff. Don't
Yeah,
you?
no,
I haven't started any yet.
I deal with that stuff a little bit. Freaking HVAC is getting so much more sophisticated. Over the last 5 years, it has gotten so crazily sophisticated, it's not even funny. So we're using... It's communicating systems now.
Mm-hmm.
They started using communicating systems with big commercial jobs, I think maybe 10, 15 years ago. And it's finally starting to make its way to the residential world because they've miniaturized the technology to it to the point where it can actually do it. You know, before it was just electrical capacitor start, capacitor run motors doing everything, and a very simple control relays and things like that. Now they're starting to use communicating systems where you've got a freaking computer about as powerful as a smartphone, constantly taking readings and adjusting speeds. They're using DC motors with they're electronically commutated motors, and what that means is their AC voltage goes to a board. That board turns it into DC voltage of different pulses, and that's what keeps the motor going. That's what keeps it can change speed up and down.
Okay.
And it makes the system incredibly efficient. So it's only like pumping out as much cold air as it needs to be pumping out, depending on the loads on the system, right? And the best systems, they have 5 different stages. So it goes from like being like only running at 20% all the way up to 100%.
Okay.
So it's really, really cool. Just opening up a condensing unit and seeing this massive freaking board full of capacitors and different computer chips and all that. I'm just like, oh, I want to take you apart and play with you.
And then hopefully put you back together in the right order. Knowing me, I'd fuck everything up if I did that.
You just gotta take your time. Make sure you label things. That's how I felt when I started working on laptops. God, there's so many parts inside a laptop, and they're non-conventional compared to something like a desktop where everything is universal.
What I learned working on cars is take lots of pictures.
Yes. That's also...
So you know where everything's supposed to go when you're putting it back together.
Or be like Linus Tech Tips, where they just record everything. The entire dismantle process. So you can just turn it backwards.
Or pull a bitwit and make fun of someone who can't do it right.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Oh, that's from my backup keyboard, which I am throwing away because my backup keyboard is missing like 6 keys. I don't even know how.
What kind of keyboard is it?
Well, so the backup keyboard was just like this little what the hell it's not it's one of the non-mechanical ones. It was just
Dome.
in case
Yeah, those are dome.
yeah, okay, so it's a dome board, and that's just because my Razer would occasionally screw up on me.
Well, they could
Like-
be switches. Like,
There might be switches. There's little like bubbles you press on.
oh, that's dome. Never mind.
Dome. Yeah, there's dome.
Rubber dome.
But like every so often, if the Razer drivers weren't updated, my keyboard just wouldn't work.
Right.
So I would have to I'd have to use this backup board to be able to sign into my Razer account so I could update the drivers. And it's pretty shitty, but I think it's a Logitech. It's nothing fancy.
Just an old Logitech board.
Yep. And then this, what the hell is this? What model is this? I don't even know. It's a Logitech G something or other. I got it at Best Buy for like $70. And
G710?
No, I don't think it's a 710. It's not a very high end one. It's like a
Is it like a 510? Or it should say right above the numpad, or right next to the numpad.
it just says G. Which is
Okay.
so helpful.
That's okay. Well, it tells you that at least it's a part of the gaming line at the very least.
Yeah. Well,
That's what it means.
If I take my headset off, I can reach the box. This is a. Oh, it's a G. Fucking god damn it. It's a G413 silver.
Oh, okay. So it's oof. It's the G. Really? What?
I mean, I don't care if I got a shitty deal. I just wanted a new mechanical keyboard.
No.
Yeah, fucking aircraft grade 5052 aluminum top case. So what do you think I'm gonna do with this thing? Smash it against someone? Well, I guess if I get broken into, then maybe. But
I mean, just it's G. What'd you say? G4? What?
G413 silver. It does have pretty quiet keys. I like that. 25% faster keystrokes. Are you saying this keyboard will make me type faster?
Oh, they're brown switches.
Is that?
I have no idea what type of switch my keyboard uses.
Well, you have blue, red, brown. And I think there's others.
I have a Corsair. I'm not sure. Razer has its own. Even Razer has its own switches. They use green and black
switches. So the easiest way is to take your escape key, pull it off because it's typically an easy key to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see, the color of the switch is actually the color.
Oh, that's right. I went with the dome style this time because it's quieter. I like mechanical because of the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
But domes are very quiet.
So you must have gotten. This looks like they're red switches. Now that I'm looking, they're their own Romer G Tactile.
Yeah.
Which is.
I mean, they work.
It's okay. So this is what's it called?
A thing that does stuff.
it's Logitech's own version of they're not Cherry MX. They're just Logitech's own version of the mechanical keyboard. It looks nice, man. It's this small one.
Yeah, it's not very big, which is fine. The keys are a little narrower, which I'm having some trouble getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find it very easy for my hands to just move over one key. Even with the little home row bumps on the F and J keys, I just keep hitting the wrong keys every so often, and then I misspell the better part of a sentence.
Enjoyable.
But no, it feels nice. This is it's pretty lightweight. Logitech, we like a sponsor.
Hey, I use all Logitech shit, so I use the 510. I have like 4 of the G602s, which are wireless mice.
The mouse I use is totally not a Razer Type A. It's a Logitech Razer Type A.
I don't like Razer products, to be honest.
Even my processor's Logitech. Fuck it.
They feel flimsy.
I mean, this Black Widow Ultimate lasted me a good 5 years, and then it finally died. This mouse is I got the mouse at the same time, and it has refused to die. Not that I've been trying to kill it, but boy, I can see a lot of fucking Cheeto dust on this thing. That is you could fucking do lines of Cheeto dust on this thing. There's so much. Jesus Christ.
Did you guys see the Newegg iBright?
I actually haven't.
Nope.
Alright. So I'm gonna post this. since last week it was April Fool's Day. This is like click on this. Since we were talking about Logitech CPUs,
Okay.
Intel made their own not Intel. Oh my god, Newegg, a company that is a main realtor for like computer component parts, made their own CPU called the Newegg iBright RGB CPU. I'm reading everything wrong today. The specs on it is fucking retarded. It's a $5,000 processor. It's got RGB on the heat spreader.
Jesus Christ.
It's got 100 cores, 200 threads, DDR5 RAM. Sure, probably his response to that. Its base clock is 1.4 petahertz, which is 1,000 gigahertz. It's overclockable, but doing so might create a small black hole inside your CPU and void your warranty.
Literally void it.
I love the next part. It says PCI lanes 28. Oh, like you're really gonna use more, please. It's compatible with the current Intel. Jeez. We are just as surprised as you are. And you can pay for more colors. People like microtransactions, right? Also, don't delid these. Seriously, you'll break all the RGB. And you'll hurt your feelings.
Includes a free copy of Lawbreaker.
That was the best part.
Holy shit.
Man. Scroll down and click on the video.
This is a joke, right?
Yeah, this was their
just making sure.
This was their April Fool's fuel joke. I might have drinking too much of the alcohol already.
Cores 100, threads 200, DDR5 RAM support, sure, probably. Base clock 1.4 petahertz. Overclock capable, but doing so might create a small black hole inside your CPU and void your warranty. PCIe lanes 28. Oh yeah, really gonna use more? Please. Socket LGA 1151 compatible. We're as surprised as you are. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's just click on the video. The video's fucking great. So ready?
Yeah.
Let me actually pull it up really quick.
Okay.
Where's show construction? All right. On your count.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Newegg has been the premier destination for buying PC components online for years. Logically, the next step was for us to start creating our own products. Introducing the Newegg iBright CPU. With the iBright, Newegg has introduced the world's first CPU with built-in RGB capabilities. Our marketing team has racked their brains searching for the right words to describe the aesthetic qualities of the iBright. Opulent, grandiose, ostentatious, eye-meltingly shiny. The world's first CPU with RGB lighting, red, green, and blue. Yes, you can choose from any of those 3 colors for your lights out of the box. And if you want more shades, you'll be able to purchase them through simple microtransactions.
They cover it up. I think that's the best part, is they cover it up. Microtransactions.
Everybody likes microtransactions, right? No, this was great. I wanted to see, like, 2019 tech
for all beholders.
April Fools. Hold on.
Some of the fucking excerpts on this page. Science fact. First off, let's talk fabrication process. Forget 10 nanometers, 7 nanometers, or even 5 nanometers. Newegg decided that the whole concept of nanometer fabrication nodes is outdated thinking. There's a loophole in Moore's law, and it's to go smaller than nanometers. We're talking about literally the smallest you can go, and that's quarks. With Newegg's new fire quark technology, they've achieved a transistor density that is only theoretically possible. Try not to think about it. Seriously, please stop thinking about it. Brainwaves interfere with the device's performance.
Alright. For those laymen's out there who the layman's terms of this is a nanometer is how big the processor is, the processor itself is. So whenever you see a CPU that's not like the actual size of the CPU, the size of it is like a lot smaller. All the rest of that stuff is the stuff that's required to interact with everything else. So right now we're running into a problem with Moore's law, which can someone explain it in simple terms? Because I don't think I can do it correctly right now.
Moore's law means that every generation will be a certain percentage stronger or faster and smaller than the previous generation. We've hit a point where Moore's law is no longer applicable because we're at the limits of physics. We can't get any smaller than we've already gotten. It's physics won't allow it. Not with the materials that we use. Not with silicon-based microtransistors.
Yeah.
And things like that. So we've hit a wall, and that's why people are pumping so much money into quantum computing now, because that's the next step. We have hit the limit of electrons.
So the basic joke behind this is they're like, forget the thing that everybody else is having all these issues with, as far as because they can't get it to go any smaller. We've gone down to this quartz.
We've gone subatomic.
So this whole thing was just great. So I'm gonna post this.
Oh my god, this fucking line. All iBright CPUs run at a baseline of 1.4 petahertz with a maximum overclock speed that is currently classified by the Department of Defense, Central Intelligence Agency, National Security Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Federal Interagency Committee for the Management of Noxious and Exotic Weeds. Fucking A.
I can just slightly explain. The core clock speed is measured in hertz, and so you have a hertz, 1,000 hertz, 100, or I think it's 1,000 hertz, 100,000 hertz, 1,000,000 hertz, a trillion hertz.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it gets broken down. Like, I think so. Kilohertz is 1,000 hertz. Gigahertz is 100,000 hertz, or 1,000,000 hertz.
Kilohertz is 1,000. Megahertz is 1,000,000. Gigahertz is 1,000,000,000. Terahertz is freaking 100 billion.
Yeah.
And then petahertz is 1,000,000,000,000.
Yeah, that number is just ridiculously high.
Terahertz is a trillion, and then petahertz is a quadrillion, somewhere around there.
So yeah. So that's pretty fast.
going the Chris Raycon route on that.
Yeah. That wasn't even a good impression. It was just fucking... I gotta stop with these impressions. They're gonna kill my career. Or lack thereof.
I was gonna say. All right. So I didn't even look at this article at all. I just pulled it up. But here's the April Fool's jokes in big tech companies that came up in 2019. You guys want to pull that up? I
Man, we should have pulled his up last week and been better prepared. But hey, let's
Yeah,
cover
but
it. I love it.
we didn't. These weren't all out by the time last week came around because last week was like we had our show on
It was
April
that
Fool's.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? This fucking thumbnail.
Oh,
Why is
okay.
Black Widow blonde? The fuck?
Terahertz. Terahertz is a trillion. Petahertz is a quadrillion.
Screen cleaner
So-
in the Files app.
Are we? So,
Fucking.
do you wanna scroll down? And we'll watch the the Google one.
The what?
Goof.
The Google April Fool's joke. It's
Oh.
pretty. No.
Wasn't April Fool's back last Monday?
Yeah, but this is a compilation of all the different April Fools that came out of big tech companies.
Oh, I get it.
We're doing our own little
Still-
last week tonight thing.
Yeah, basically. Isn't that what the show is?
Yeah, basically.
You know,
Sometimes today tonight.
sometimes.
Oh man. All right.
All right. Click play.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
We use phones to do a lot of different things. Fun things, useful things, more fun things. But over time, they can get cluttered. Which is why millions of people use the Files app to keep their phones organized and clean.
What's this? Organized?
But what about the outside of your phone? There are a lot of ways to keep your phone clean. Wiping, more wiping, cases. Cases for cases. You can even get specialized hardware.
What?
What if there was a way for your phone to keep itself clean from the inside
I'm not even
out?
watching the video.
Introducing a
I'm
new
watching
feature
it.
in the
I'm watching
Files
it
app,
on the
Screen
stream.
Cleaner.
Okay.
Screen Cleaner uses the Smudge Detector API to identify imperfections. Using our geometric dirt models and haptic micro-movement generator, Screen Cleaner dislodges dirt, smudges, and more. Once the phone is clean,
Oh my God, if only
internal
that were-
vibration and
if only
haptic
that were
controls
true.
create micro-vibrations, forming a long-lasting non-stick shield around the surface of the phone.
What?
So with just a few taps, your screen is like new, with a fresh pineapple scent. Keep your phone clean
Oh my
inside and
gosh.
out with Files by Google.
But I don't want pineapple. I want mint. Oh god, what the hell is making that sound? Oh, Jesus Christ.
That
Fucking
was
ads.
the ad. Oh god,
The
that
ad
was
that
loud
wasn't
as
actually playing. Jesus, rest in peace, headphone users.
That hurt my ears.
Yeah.
All right.
Audible for fish.
Yeah. So, Audible, the audiobook service ran by Amazon, went the harmonious, useless product mute this year with the Audible for Fish, and exactly what it sounds like, an Audible audiobook experience for the aquatic animals who don't actually care about audiobooks. To top it all off, the audiobook is only 3 seconds long.
But how am I supposed to turn my goldfish into lobsters?
Okay.
Here, listen,
Um,
here, Nemo, listen to this, and you'll want to rescue your father from the underworld.
Jesus.
Instead of him rescuing you.
So the Spotify joke, if there's such a thing as a good corporate April Fool's joke, Spotify came close this year. The music streaming service normally generates Discover weekly playlists for each of its users, condensing consisting of new music. Yeah, consisting of new music they might actually want to listen to based on what they normally like. For April Fool's Day, Spotify put together a Discover Weekly playlist that is largely disco covers of non-disco songs. The disco cover of the original Star Trek theme in particular is a good choice.
It's honestly not the worst playlist in the world. Oh, Lord.
It arguably is the worst playlist of the world. I mean, I'm as super fly as the next guy, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big disco fan. I don't know.
I know like 2 people who like disco beyond the songs that are everybody loves.
Yeah. Like actual diving into the era and stuff. Microsoft takes a stand. Microsoft took a different approach this year. An internal memo sent out to all Microsoft employees last week explicitly asked them to not do any public facing. Oh, okay. So they didn't do an April Fool's joke.
That's just
so
what someone trying to do an April Fool's joke would do. There's no joke, and that's the joke.
I appreciate that people may have devoted time and resources to these activities, but we believe that we have more to lose than gain by attempting to be funny on this day, the marketing team said. Netflix Prime Video pander for anti-April Fool's sentiment. April Fool me. Once on a similar note, the official Twitter account belonging to 2 streaming services played into the idea that people might be tired of the corporate April Fool's joke. Of course, the tweets pulled double duty as advertising for shows on their representative streaming services.
That fucking screen cap from Netflix Canada. Being a person is a fucking nightmare.
the Amazon, the Prime Video, get pranked much?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Honorable mention.
Oh shit.
Oh man, there weren't very many here. What the fuck? Like it said here are the big jokes from the big companies. But like, okay, what about Razer's April Fools?
Oh god, did they do one?
Oh, Razer had to do one. I know Nvidia did one.
I think Overwatch did one last year where it was like Anna has changelog. Anna has been removed from the game.
Oh,
they just started fucking things up.
Okay, so this one looks like it's a better version of what I'm talking about. So head to this article that I just posted because this one has the 2 ones that I saw.
I'm gonna have to change the title of this stream to Fool Review.
It's just this episode.
Yeah. Alright, where are we at? Midday.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go straight down to NVIDIA GeForce RTX RON. A play on the name of their marketing campaign that was RTX on. So, NVIDIA teased this particularly goof early this week when a leaked image of its holographic AI assistant first appeared on the web last week. NVIDIA says that RON will create a 3D AR displays of the maps and levels, convert your rage into supportive messages, and disprove trolls on the spot with their own Wolfram Alpha style database and predict facts and figures. This video was gorgeous. So we're here. Are you ready to play it?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
NVIDIA GeForce is always introducing new ways to move gaming technology forward. But our latest breakthrough is like nothing you've ever seen before. Gamers of the world, meet RON, the ultimate, next-generation, AI-powered virtual assistant that delivers the promise of personalized PC gaming.
Hello, Julian. Would you like to play?
Interesting.
Any smart speaker can answer trivia questions or play music, but Ron uses cutting-edge AI to do so much more, in 18 different languages.
Yo soy la cena.
Kind of want an RTX 2080 now.
Je suis la dîner de poulet. 你不知道我讲什么吧？
Why
Ron
didn't they
can
get Ron
optimize
Perlman?
your games, keep you up to date on
Right?
everything happening in the gaming world, and
I think that's supposed to
through
sound
your
like
game
Jarvis.
Julian, I have analyzed your last 412 drops. Your best win rate comes from dropping bunker and, well, hiding.
Thanks, Ron.
Oh, this guy again. What are you even doing?
Having trouble holding your temper when dealing with weak teammates online? Don't get banned. Get Ron's patented rage converter technology.
Oh my god! I got a question. How are the 4 biggest morons on
Rage converter activated. Great work, team. This has been a stimulating confrontation.
Wow. Amazing. If you're like me, you love talking about PC gaming on forums and Twitch and Reddit, but hate dealing with online trolls. Now, you can sit back and let Ron do the arguing for you.
Troll destroyer.
He'll automatically link all the relevant facts, and he never has to
Jesus
eat,
Christ.
sleep, or bathe, making him an equal match for your average online troll.
Mission complete. Icyfire 420 has quit the internet and is now laying on his floor.
Thanks, Ron. We've all been there. You've settled into an intense gaming session, you're just getting to the good part, and distractions start flooding in. Well, with Ron's TalkBlock AI feature, you can buy yourself the extra time you need to finish the final level.
Julian, I've seeded 12 new Pokestops in the neighborhood for your partner to chase, and reminded your parents that your little brother is a degenerate delinquent and shouldn't play Fortnite until he studied for his math test. You should now have an extra 48 minutes and 20 seconds to game peacefully.
It just works. Do you want to meet
Just
Ron in
works.
person and get in on the ground floor of AI-assisted PC gaming? Be sure to visit the
Christ.
website down in the description for more news about game-changing features and to get notified when Ron launches later this year.
Julian, I seem to have reached the end of the internet.
That's fucking great. The the trolls thing was ridiculous.
Fucking Google Tulip.
Yeah, that one. You want to write that one too?
What's the razor one?
All right,
What's the eyebrow?
I'm not sure if. Yeah, that looks about right. So, Razer has solved human interaction with its latest app, Razer Ping. This contextual notification app will report whatever it sees your friend to your friends, so you don't have to. Oh gosh.
Jesus Christ.
So you don't have to. Productivity is up elite percent in Razer's HQ thanks to the app, and it's been instrumental in solving that parental issue and figuring out where to go for lunch in a group of 3 or more people. Oh gosh. Right?
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna play this now. The fuck?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay, is that it? Hold
That
on,
was it.
let's head to the page.
Oh god.
So here's the address for the page.
Oh, fucking A.
So not. All right, let's read the
Never have to speak again.
Razer Ping. The apex of communication. It's basically playing off of Apex Legends.
Jesus Christ.
Enjoy chatting with your friends, but and hate talking to them in real life? Introducing Razer Ping, the contextual notification app that redefines the way that you interact with people. With this baby, you'll never have to speak again. Become the legend none of your friends asked for. Alright, here's the video. You want to play it?
Might as well. It's playing.
Oh.
Do you enjoy chatting with your friends online?
Yo, man, I have this crazy ass story to tell you for the most part. But then we come up to this part and have crisis mode.
But hate talking to them in real life? At Razer, we understand. Talking's slow, inefficient, and requires too much focus.
Terrible, horrible
Introducing
white people
Razer
always
Ping,
talking your
the
off.
new optimized way to communicate. Got some goodies your
I don't
buddy
know
might
about you
like?
guys, but this
Screw
is making me
talking.
hungry.
Get pinging.
Yeah, just a bit.
I really want a
Can't
chocolate
decide
donut
what's
now.
for lunch?
Yeah.
Activate Lunchmaster mode to let others know where you're headed, even if they do end up ditching you. Idiots. With Razer Ping, never have to speak again. Become the legend none of your friends asked for.
Was that
Fucking Razer toaster.
Toaster? Yeah, that was one of the April Fool's jokes
Christ.
from a few years back. Okay, talking is for chumps. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Why flap your gums when you could be taking names? Kill the leaders to make the most out of every second they have. By using Razer Ping, you can increase your productivity by an average of leap percent, according to math. Simply point your camera at any object, and Razer Ping, it will contextualize it into a
Project
notification.
McFly.
Do you remember Project
I saw that.
I loved Project McFly. That was great. Jesus. Say it with Ping. Language. Okay. Here's below some examples to demonstrate a clear economy of Ping over our traditional bloated use of language. Hey man, it's Mark's birthday and there's donuts in the party. I know you like chocolate and there's only one in the dozen, so you can better get over here to grab it before anyone else does. Or just Razer Ping. Whether it's an observation, question, or life-saving advice, one fact remains clear. The versatility, utility, and power of Ping is undeniable.
Indecisive. Solving your biggest first world problem. According to science, nearly 80% of the world's population suffer from gastroindecisiveness, a crippling, debilitating psychological condition where no one can decide on where to eat. Razer Ping solves all that with a unique Lunchmaster squad system that provides direction and brings your group out of decision paralysis. It's time to team up and lunch out. Lead the squad as Lunchmaster, supports up to 2 squad mates, additional mute function. Like, fuck you guys, we're coming here.
We're going this way, guys. But we don't want to go that way. We are going this way!
Oh
But
my
mute.
Jesus Christ.
You're getting
Alright.
Subway, and you're gonna sit there and like it.
You kind of like it.
You're
So-
gonna like it.
Alright, heading back to that PC gamer and PC gamers. PC games? What is this?
PC games, and I don't know. I don't know what this is. I've never
What-
seen this site before.
They named their site almost exactly like PC Gamer. What? Okay. Alright. So heading back to that site, the one underneath the
This
Newegg
is a fucking
Eyebright
work of art.
is the Nissan X HyperX Cup Noodles cans. You've heard the best gaming cans? Now you can get the best gaming cups. Gaming headset Extraordinary HyperX has teamed up with Cup of Noodle
Royalty. Cup noodle royalty. Jesus Christ.
Nissan to create the cup noodle headphones, complete with the micro pork. What?
For fork.
Oh
A microphone shaped like a fork. God damn.
The press release claims the headphones can cancel out all cup noodle slipping sound. While still delivering crystal clear sound quality, while the patent pending noodle.
Let ear pads.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Woven together with noodle fibers, deliver the silky soft caress of ramen noodles for your ears.
Oh my god!
You just made fucking mukbang a piece of hardware. This is what you'd get.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Just like, I'd like to shoot back, but I only hear the sounds of someone fucking eating. Converts
What's that?
every fucking sound into, like, slurping. Fucking A.
Oh my gosh.
Now I want ramen.
Picked a bad.
Like, real good ramen. Not
No.
that
Styrofoam
instant crap.
shit.
Use thinner noodles.
Why don't I just go to the ramen shop?
That's
that
also
I
true.
Can go to.
That's also true. I don't have one of those. But I made ramen the other day and I used a little bit too thick of noodles.
Yeah. Friggin' whenever I make ramen packets, I always have to spice it up. Freaking Spam and an egg, chives.
I've done eggs.
I wish-
I've done Alfredo sauce when I was really broke.
Ew.
I didn't use the packet though. I just did.
Oh,
the ramen
okay. So you
noodles.
basically just made
I just made
spaghetti Alfredo
with ramen noodles.
using buckwheat noodles instead of.
Yeah, and it was passable. Probably a waste of cheap Alfredo sauce.
Probably.
I'll be
'Cause
right.
Probably.
The noodles that come in those packages are the worst part. Like, the package isn't actually not that bad. Actually adds an interesting flavor. It's the noodles are terrible. Oh my gosh.
They're just freeze dried. That's all.
See, that was my main thing when I went to go buy noodles, is I didn't buy noodles that were freeze dried. I bought them. I went to the Oriental shop, it's like by my old house, and they have a fridge section with a bunch of noodles that are just kept in the fridge, so they don't have to be freeze dried.
Okay.
You never heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
But it's not that hard to make it. There's the like minced garlic, ginger, olive oil, sesame seed oil, chicken or beef broth, mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, which are actually rather expensive. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, they're fucking expensive, dude.
And then
They're imported, so
yeah, and then a good. I would remake it this time with like thinner noodles, good noodles, and then I added a chili paste to it, but everybody else was saying add sriracha.
what? Everybody else was saying it was sriracha.
To add sriracha to it.
Oh.
To add.
No, you don't add sriracha sauce to freaking ramen. You don't. You add chili. You don't even add chili paste. You add dried pepper or dried chili flakes, or the oil, just pure chili oil.
See, I just chili paste because there's this type of chili paste. It's a garlic based chili paste. It's really spicy and really good.
Well, I don't really like using garlic with ramen. It doesn't taste right to me. I like garlic in fried rice.
It's a pretty main component, actually.
In ramen? No,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Almost. Here, hold on. Yeah, hold on. It's soy sauce, shiitake mushrooms, oh yeah, it's kombu, dried shiitake mushrooms, enhance both cooking within the broth with Jesus. So the one that I was like, I read like 3 of them that all said to start off, with, gosh, I'm not even looking at the right one. All right, I'm just gonna ignore this conversation because it's getting kind of boring. Still talking in the chat.
Yeah.
You and Mark have been like going at it for a while.
Yeah, well, we've talked about a couple of different things so far. I don't know, I'm just getting distracted. But, again, I don't know what recipe you're making or whatever, but freaking ramen has 2 main ingredients. The noodles and the broth.
Right.
The noodles are made of they're like soba noodles. They're just thinner. They're made from buckwheat. Right?
Right.
The broth can be miso based or it can be shoyu based, which is soy sauce. They call it salt based. And then you can change you can change the flavor with those with different meats that you stew the broth from. Right? You can pork, chicken, beef,
right,
so on and so forth. And
so
garlic's not part of that. Garlic is not part of that.
Okay, so the ingredients for making the broth is a tablespoon of sesame seed oil, a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, 2 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger, half a cup of shiitake mushrooms.
You lost me at the olive oil, buddy.
Why?
Because it's olive oil.
Yeah. So this is how you make it.
Sesame oil sounds great. It's the right thing for the flavor.
Okay.
But once you go into olive oil.
So you mix the sesame seed oil and the olive oil in the pan with garlic. Then you put in ginger, the shiitake mushrooms, and then after you've kind of created a sauce out of that, then you pour in your broth, or have you going to make it, like if you do a vegetable stock or broth or whatever. And then you add in soy sauce. Most of the other places were saying to use sriracha, but I didn't use sriracha. And then after that, you add it. After that's all boiled together. So you're basically creating a sauce that is mixed in with the broth and boiled together.
Okay. So, from what I understand, I said that kind of condescending, didn't I? Didn't mean to. It was more just more of an emphasis of my understanding of it rather than your understanding of it. which just means it's better.
What's better?
The soup stock. It's basically a stock. You make it. Take a stock, and then you use that stock to make the actual soup. Right?
Okay.
The soup is what actually makes the ramen different. It's like the noodles are the same. Ramen noodles are ramen noodles.
Right.
Like you might have different like ramen shops making the noodles just a little bit differently, but they taste the same. The texture's different. It's like there was this one shop that I went to. They did everything a little differently. They wouldn't give you the ramen in the bowl with the soup. They'd give you the ramen in a bowl on a draining rack and a bowl of the soup. And then you would take the noodles from the bowl that had the draining rack, swish it in the soup, and then eat it. And then you had the other ones that they just gave you the noodles in the soup. I'm not sure which one I preferred. But,
Well, I've looked up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're specifically talking about the fact that garlic's in there right now. At least that's how I've been going about it. Looked up 5 recipes and they've all called for
who created the recipes?
Bon appetit.
So a bunch of Westerners. Gotcha.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not only that,
That's
they're
not real.
French.
Oh my god, that makes it
It's
worse.
probably gonna be fucking frog ramen.
No, it's just. It's
I'm
like
not-
if you
I'm
want,
not
if you want to have reinvented
I mean,
new
if
age
you wanna-
Western crap,
Okay,
you go for it, buddy.
New age Western crap. Like this isn't. That's a really weird statement. But I wasn't arguing from authenticity. I was arguing from what most is made out of over here.
That's the problem. Is it's over here.
Yeah, salt and chicken powder.
I miss Japan. I miss the food in Japan.
I miss the food up in Nia Bay, but I can't go back there.
I miss the fucking carbonara from Italy.
I do not miss Italy food.
You don't miss Italy? You don't
Hey.
miss I missed it.
Food.
Oh.
Food.
I miss vending machines in Japan. I miss the vending machines.
How
like
many panties
every
did you buy?
none.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely zero.
Did you buy any silicone breasts?
Why
Any
are those
what?
in vending machines?
Why are panties in vending machines? Why are fully cooked chicken in vending machines? Like, you're gonna ask that? It's because Japan.
Yes, that's actually the accurate answer. It's like, why are vanties in vending machines? Japan.
They have.
They're not even fresh panties. They're used.
That's not.
No, that's the point. That's the point. Is they're used panties by girls. You buy them because they. Never mind.
They wore them.
Yeah.
What's the fucking policy? Take a pair, leave a pair?
No, you buy them. You. Oh.
Yeah, I get it.
That's okay.
Freaking. Now they did actually have vending machines that sold fresh, brand new clothing, like fresh new socks and new underwear and stuff like that. But those are in the respectable areas.
I could understand socks, but that's about it.
Yeah. No. Edible panties and vending machines. I never saw those. The vending machines that I really miss are the drink vending machines, and the cigarette vending machines. But that's a different take. Freaking the drink vending machines. They always had hot drinks and cold drinks. And just waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep anymore because you were so exhausted the day before. You went to bed at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then going out and getting a can of Boss coffee from a vending machine and just sitting there smoking a cigarette, watching the sun come up over the ocean it was awesome. I miss it.
Sounds like a good day. Or a good morning. What
If,
the fuck?
if I could go back without risking life imprisonment, I would.
Why would you be risking life imprisonment?
Because if I go back, I'll end up murdering my ex-wife.
Ah, okay.
I see, said the blind man. Oh, man.
Well, or so she would claim to the police, and they would arrest me because I'm an American.
I wouldn't know
He's an
anything about
American. Of course he's capable of murder.
that. They're all armed.
John.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them. I actually had someone actually asked me that. Hey, you ever armed? I looked at him and was like, well, what do you mean? Or do you ever carry arms? I'm like, well, I carry 2 of them everywhere I go. He didn't get it.
I didn't expect to.
It's like they have this idea that everybody in America walks around strapped all the time. Which is partially true. Most people are walking around strapped all the time. It's just a large majority of them do it legally, while a very small minority of them do it illegally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the illegal ones that you gotta worry about.
Shall we hop into tonight's articles?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for what, an hour and 20 minutes now? We might as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I say we start with.
We'll start with the main attraction there.
No, why don't we end with the main attraction?
Okay. So we probably got
That's what I
time
was
for
thinking.
like 2, maybe 3 articles.
What?
Probably.
Someone tell me what the main attraction actually is.
Liberal clowns.
Yeah, we'll end that. We'll end with that one.
Do you want to do the Fallout 76 one?
Yeah, what the hell? We were talking about fucking April Fool's
Let's
jokes.
let's look at this one actually.
Which one?
It's let's start it off with politics, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, the Cortez.
No.
Okay, the board.
Okay, not so much
Bartender?
politics. Not so much politics. The culture war thing and Trump derangement syndrome.
The
Okay, yeah.
Mohawk lady.
Yeah,
The
let's go with that
quote-unquote
one.
woman.
Yeah, and it's in the section Culture Wars. Look at that. So this is by Michael Lee. I'm surprised he has the balls to put his name to the article, because I've yet to see very many authors in the pluralist actually sign their names. Woman fired after verbally attacking man in MAGA hat at Starbucks.
Why is Jordan Peterson in the bottom corner of your screen?
Because
Okay.
I just got rid of it. Yeah, but this site likes to open up videos from further down the page in the corner. I need
Great.
to figure out which script that is so I can not run it.
Just,
Well,
I think
can
it's
you-
a-
can you
I
you
think
stop
it's a
all
little
of
bit
this?
telling of their mental state. A woman who furiously ranted. I'm going to click that link. I'm going to open that link up in another page.
nothing.
At a Trump supporter in a Starbucks earlier this week has lost her job, NBC Bay Area reported. The woman, later identified as Rebecca Mankey, that is a very unfortunate name, said in a viral Facebook post that she was trying to publicly shame the man for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. This, we already looked at that.
Yeah.
During her confrontation with the elderly man, identified only as Victor, Mankey vowed to expose his personal information so others could track and shame him as well.
Jesus Christ.
That's right.
That's
right. Dachshund.
Yeah, just go ahead and do that. In the Facebook post, Mankey bragged about yelling and cursing at Victor. Victor decided to leave the shop, but told reporters it wasn't because he felt threatened. This woman comes over and she says, "Is that a Trump hat?" I said, "I think it is, yes." And then she turned to the rest of the audience, the people in Starbucks, and said, "Hey, everybody, come over here. Let's get this guy. He's a hater. I'm calling him out. He hates brown people. He's a Nazi," Victor said. Victor's account of events is similar to the account provided by Mankey on Facebook, who added in a comment on the post that she planned to protest outside Victor's work and make him feel as unsafe as he made every brown person he met today.
You're in fucking California.
Eliza Ben Baruch, that's the pronunciation I'm sticking with, a Starbucks customer who witnessed the confrontation, said she was surprised by how far it escalated. "I'm surprised that someone would go that far," Starbucks customer Eliza Ben Baruch said. "I think it's a little bit telling of their mental state."
You see, this is the importance of being able to turn off your internet self. Fucking
Richard Johnston, who owns a nearby music shop called Griffin Stringed Instruments, identified Mankey as one of his employees. Johnston said Mankey worked at his store as his store manager and accountant for 4 years, but he fired her after learning of the altercation. "I think surprise is an understatement," Johnston said. "I think dumbfounded and confused is probably more accurate. Expressing what you believe is not the problem. It's attacking people for what they believe is the problem." Despite being on the receiving end of the verbal abuse, Victor said he felt bad about Mankey's firing. I wouldn't have. "I feel bad someone gets fired from their job, but that's the way it is between her and her job," Victor said. NBC Bay Area said they were unsuccessful in reaching Mankey for comment. Mankey has since deleted her Facebook account.
get wrecked.
This isn't the first time a supporter of President Donald Trump has been harassed since he won. No shit. In February, a woman attacked a man wearing a Make America Great Again hat, was later found to be an illegal immigrant and deported. A month before, a liberal comedian offered oral sex to anyone who punched MAGA teen Nick Sandman in the face. Wasn't that Carrot Top?
No.
No.
Wait. We're talking about Nick, the kid who was standing in front of the Native American and smiling a little bit.
Yeah.
Was he a Carrot Top?
No. I was talking about the comedian.
I didn't think
something
Carrot Top
Griffin.
was...
What's her name again?
It wasn't. No, maybe it was Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Kathy Griffin.
Who was it?
That offered it? It was the really hot chick. Here.
Who's?
We've actually read this article.
I know we've read this article, but I can't remember. That person. She's not a comedian, though.
No, she's just
not a successful one, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, that's the wrong.
Someone with her Twitter is like Sarah Bethel or something like that.
She's an SNL writer. That's
no,
very...
she claimed to be.
She claimed to be an SNL writer, but she never actually worked for SNL.
That's still a very loose definition of comedian. You gotta tell the jokes to be a comedian.
Hey, let's see. Does she still have a Twitter? Yeah, she still has a Twitter. I have to sign in to view it. Log me in. Stupid thing. Yeah, this is the girl that was like consistently posting a bunch of pictures. Well, she would constantly talk about her breasts, no matter what. Whenever a conversation
Yeah,
came up.
and she was constantly trying to say that she was better than everyone else because her breasts were better.
Don't remember that.
we went through her Twitter account.
Oh, right,
A lot of her comebacks were, well, my boobs are better than yours.
Yeah, I think she was trolling at that point.
I don't think she was.
That one. There's always that one.
I don't think she was trolling. I think she actually meant it. Ooh.
I mean, hers.
They
must
are
have-
very nice breasts.
Let me see here.
Oh, yeah, exact same thing that happened last time. Yep.
Yep.
It took you a minute to.
Well, I had to fucking scroll down in the fucking Discord.
See, I think that's why I couldn't remember who it was, because I was so distracted by the breasts.
The first time?
What she... Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that now. Not her face.
Yeah.
But I remember those cans pretty good. All right. I think we've played this one out just a little bit too long. Next article, eh?
Let's go to bartenders banned from denying pregnant women alcohol in New York City.
Isn't this old news?
Is this?
Oh my god, this is old news. 2016.
Yeah, Buck.
What the fuck, Buck?
What is this shit? We've probably even covered this.
We have covered this.
Have we?
We covered this last year.
No wonder I remember.
Last year.
Yes, we covered it last year, and it was old last year too.
Yeah, we were talking about like the.
In fact, I think we covered it the January of 2018.
So, remind me to not get my articles from Funny Junk. Because I just look at the headline and go, what the fuck?
Look at the date, bro.
Yeah, I see the date now.
Next article.
All right. Bethesda plans to sell Fallout 76 repair kits for real money.
What?
So,
Man, they've
we're not really gonna. I'm just gonna actually just kind of skip over the most of this article because it's longer than it should be. Okay. To explain, Fallout 76 is a online survival game. And
Survival Light.
Yes, Survival Light. It's had lots of issues. So many issues. And one of them being the wonderful fact that they have lied consistently, and this is their most recent lie. Their statement that was made back when the game was first announced in E3 of last year was that none of their microtransactions would be anything but cosmetic. For those who don't know what microtransactions are, it's basically a way to make more money after you've already purchased the game by selling you things that you can use in the game. It's a scummy practice, in my opinion. I don't like any of it.
The only acceptable microtransaction is a cosmetic microtransaction.
I still disagree with that, but I'm not going to argue it because it doesn't even matter at this point.
Well,
They've become so. There's not a single game out there.
If we're gonna talk about microtransactions, we might as well talk about DLCs as well.
I would disagree.
Why would you disagree?
I would not consider those the same thing at all.
I consider them the exact same thing.
How so?
DLCs are designed to enhance a game. They should have been in the game from the very start.
They're not designed to enhance a game. They're designed to keep the game going after maybe a year or two after it's already been released. So okay, so
if you're
I'm talking.
if you're gonna do a DLC, you might as well make a full fucking game out of it.
Yeah, but I'm talking games like first play or single player games like Fallout and Skyrim. I'm talking about games where like you buy Fallout New Vegas when it first comes out, and then a year later they put out DLC, and then the year after
You know what I miss?
What's
I
up?
miss full blown expansions. Like Diablo 2
Games still
expansion.
have the games still have
I
that.
miss freaking old school 90s and early 2000s game expansions.
Assassin's Creed 2 was the worst Assassin's Creed fight. It was so fucking boring, and so was the entirety of the Ezio story. I found no enjoyment from any of those games.
I didn't really like Assassin's Creed that much.
Oh, I've played a bunch of Assassin's Creed, but I disagree with almost everyone else who plays with Assassin's Creed. I like the first game. I don't really enjoy at all Assassin's Creed 2, and then the expansions that they put out for it, basically, if we're going to talk about it in this context, which were Brotherhood and Revelations.
You know, I thought the game was interesting when I first got it. It had an interesting story element to it.
It was to me.
But it was I think that Assassin's Creed was good by itself. It didn't deserve sequels.
No, okay. So once you hit past 3, yes, they were really scraping the barrel to try and come up with more. They did have some good ones, like 4 and Unity were actually still kind of okay. They just let go of the overarching story of the games, which seemed really stupid. 4 tried to add in a secondary version of it. They just didn't continue it with Unity at all. The worst game out of all of them is Syndicate.
Are we talking technically or game-wise?
Both. Alright, so Assassin's Creed Unity, when it first came out, it was incredibly buggy. It was incredibly buggy. A year and a half later, I think, around that time, they had fixed all the bugs. When you got to that point and you got out of the bugginess, I think Unity is genuinely one of my favorites. It has the best graphics out of all of them. Before, I haven't played Origins or Odyssey yet, so I'm not even comparing it to those. But I'm comparing it to all the ones before it and Syndicate, which came after Unity. The thing was that Unity was so buggy when it first came out, they decided to compensate for that by downgrading the graphics and doing a lot to just remove things that were in Unity. And it killed the game. The pacing was destroyed by the fact that every time you wanted to talk to someone or go into a cutscene or do anything, you had this long-ass loading screen of Big Ben. And I'm not talking about consoles, I'm talking about a PC that could run the game really well on an SSD.
You know, my most memorable moment playing Assassin's Creed was honestly not even related to the game. I mean, it was, but it wasn't at the same time. I was playing it out in the family room. This was like 10 years ago. And my father, my very Catholic father, saw about 5 minutes of the actual story, and he was like, turn that shit off. Don't you ever fucking play that game around me or your younger brothers ever again. And I looked at him and I'm like, what? He's like, turn it off and don't ever blah blah blah. And I'm like, why? It's a fictional story. It's a game. Freaking we play freaking Call of Duty in front of them all the damn time. It's 100 times more graphic than this game is. Pretty sure he was actually too embarrassed to really explain the reason, but it has everything to do with the fact that you were fighting the Templars and the Templars were evil.
Yeah, but the Templars weren't Catholic, though.
The Knights Templar.
Knights Templar are not the same thing as the Templars. But I'm guessing what you're saying is he connected those two as one and the same.
He connected those two things as one and the same. And
Alright.
and technically from the game's point of view, at the time they were one and the same.
Well, not entirely. The Knights
No,
Templar.
hang on a second. Let me get to my point.
Okay.
So in the game, at this point of the game, it was during the Crusades. The Knights Templar were crusading, and they were using the. Hang on, don't interrupt me. I'm making my fucking point. No, I'm not wrong.
Keep going.
At the time of the game, the Knights Templar were waging crusade in that area. The Templars of the game, the evil ones, were using the Crusades as a cover to search for the stuff they were searching for that I can't even really remember at the moment.
Is it the Apple of Eden? Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Sure, that's it. And at the time, the Templars and the Knights Templar were pretty much the exact same thing, except the Templars were using the Knights Templar to be there.
Oh yeah. Though I do disagree with your father, they're not the same thing. But
I understand this.
Like that was the point of basically the end of the second act was you
like,
going to, I don't remember which king it was that was on the Crusades and telling him that holy fucking shit, this guy's manipulating you. But yeah, no. I really liked the first game. But we have gotten really off topic.
Yeah.
Back to microtransactions. So oh, Mass Effect 3. Oh,
honestly,
God.
the way I see it is the only game that can really get away with using microtransactions in any way, like really in any way, are free to play games.
Kind of, but yeah, sure. Why not?
It's like that's the only way I can ever consider.
In a lot of those
buying.
games, they're pretty scummy, such as a game called Elder Scrolls Blades. I don't know if you've heard about it yet, but
No, I haven't.
You can just buy all the gear that you want to use because you get chests every time you finish a dungeon, which is how you get gear. Or you can just go to the store, which is at the main screen. Click on the store and find the most advanced chest, the legendary chest, and buy a bunch of those. And just have all of the legendary gear right off the back. Also, to open a chest, you have to wait a certain amount of time. Or you can spend real money and have it open instantly. It's really bad, and I would never suggest anyone to play it. I fucking hate that kind of shit. I can be okay with cosmetic-only microtransactions inside a free-to-play game. So, like, Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a free-to-play game, and they have cosmetic-only.
For a second there, I thought you were talking over me this entire time, and then I realized I was muted.
I was wondering why no one was saying anything.
I was listening.
I mean, I was trying to make a couple of points myself, but you know, they're not that important. There is a game that I was playing that really strengthened my taste for coin shop games.
Okay.
Where they're microtransactions per se, but you buy coins or in-game currency to use. There's a game that was really, really fun. I really, really liked it. But it had a coin shop. It's called Vega Conflict.
Why does that name ring a bell?
Probably because it's on Steam and it's cross-platformed between mobile games and the computer. You can play it on the computer and you can play it on your phone. Same account.
Okay.
Same everything. Freaking mobile players and computer-based players all playing at the same time in the same space, fighting each other.
Oh, this is
It was a
wonderful
fun game. It was a very fun game, and it like playing on the mobile versus someone who's on the computer. It's like it wasn't so. It was. It really just came down to preferences, because they had built it and ported it in such a way that being on the computer doesn't give you a massive advantage.
Okay.
You know, it was a really fun game. It was like real RTS style combat. And you really had to think about how you were building your ships and everything. The problem is when your ships were destroyed, you either had to wait until they were repaired or instantly repair them with coins. And you could get coins simply by having a coin generator built. And everybody got a coin generator free, but the only way to upgrade your coin generator was to spend coins.
So,
And what happened, the reason why I lost taste in the game is it turned very, very pay to win, wherein they would have these events every 6 weeks or so where you participate and you had to play in order to unlock the newest models of ships. And the newest model of ships were better than the base model of ships in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, I just stopped playing because you could finish an event without using coins. But you basically had to start at the beginning of the event and play the entire time in order to grind up the points to unlock all of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So people who don't have that kind of time would have to spend a lot of money on coins in order to compete, in order to be able to stay competitive, because it was a very competitive game. It's like people were fighting each other all the damn time. You know, it just got to a point. I think the biggest tipping point for me, like I realized that I had spent almost $200 on coins for a single event.
Wow.
Yeah. This was when I was like in the deepest point of my depression when my ex-wife left me.
Yeah.
So I was making stupid decisions.
I can see how that'd be a bit of a shock. Like, oh shit, I spent this much on
Yeah,
a
and
fucking game.
yeah, when I realized that I spent $200 on an event, and this wasn't even like that wasn't even the most amount of money. That wasn't even like the total amount of money I had spent on the game. I think I spent a total of almost $700 on that game.
Okay.
And when I saw I had spent $200 on that one event, I was like, how much fucking money have I spent on this game? And yeah, I think I tallied it up to somewhere between $700 and $1,000.
Jesus.
So that's when I said, you know what, no more, and quit playing it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking.
Damn.
That's.
I mean, it was a fun game. It really was. The actual gameplay of the game itself was really fun. And then Chinese took over.
And then the communist Chinese showed up.
And then the commies came in and wrecked them.
No, it had nothing to do with being communist. It was literally they didn't have to pay for coins.
Oh.
Yeah, something
we're
about
talking players, not company.
Yeah, no, we're talking players. The Chinese players took over, like literally took over. It's like we had enough problems with freaking the Korean players because all the Korean players were like these big fat cat CEOs who were spending thousands of dollars on the game a month because they could.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chinese players came in and they didn't have to spend any money.
Fucking A.
Jeez. So that's kind of a similar system to what they're putting in with
fucking Fallout.
With fucking Fallout. So
Which
Fallout
is
has
kind of why I brought it up.
Yeah. So Fallout has this mechanic that's built into where all of your weapons and armor and gear, just basic gear, degrades over usage and time. And so eventually
Mostly
you have to
usage.
repair. Yeah. So like, if it gets down to 50%, like it loses 3 or 4 amount of damage, or they didn't add back in the jamming system, did they?
Say that again?
They didn't add back in the jamming system, did they?
I have no idea. I haven't played the game in a very long time.
Oh, I mean the jamming system from New Vegas.
I don't think so.
Currently the only way to repair your weapons is to take it back to a workbench and repair them using scrap materials.
Which is fine.
Right.
When the drop rate for the scrap isn't so garbage that you spend that you freaking break your weapon before you find enough scrap to repair it.
No, that's fun.
Yeah, they put in they patched the drop rate for scrap because people were complaining that it was too easy, and they had nerfed it so hard that you literally were walking around punching things because everything broke before you had the materials to repair it.
And then, of course, when you repair it, it's only a partial, isn't it?
No. It's
full repair.
It's full repair.
Even
it depends on how much materials you have. You can partially repair for a fraction of the materials for a full repair.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you want to repair it all the way.
Yeah,
because
so you have all the bonus and benefits of a fully repaired weapon.
On top of that is you can burn through a weapon just in one dungeon.
Yeah. So Bethesda has now decided that they are going to add in repair kits into the game. Repair kits allow you to repair your weapons to 100% without having to go back to a workbench, also without having to use material. The thing is, they are selling them on the Atom Store. Now, there are 2 kinds. There is the one that will repair to 100% and the one that will repair to 150%.
Wow.
They have said... Yeah, so it lasts longer. They have said that the only ones that are sold on the Atom shop, which is their microtransaction shop, is the one that repairs it to 100, and then the 151 has to be either crafted or found in game.
Okay.
But basically, what it allows you to do is to spend money to never have to repair your weapon ever again. So if you're in the midst of like this big battle, and you're having a bunch of like your weapons are going down and all this kinds of stuff, or maybe you joined PvP and one of your weapons breaks. Right now, you'd have to use a different weapon or leave the fight to go repair it. Now you can just repair it on the fly, and that's only if you pay for it with real money. And it's kind of shit.
Kinda shit.
It's kind of shit.
They've managed to out EA.
And everybody's just waiting for the next one because there's also been reports of loot boxes. Because in some I don't remember what they're called, but it's files that are in Fallout 76 but not like attuned to anything. Bunch of data miners have found like files for that are kind of the setups for things that are coming with updates.
Okay.
And one of them is lunchboxes. And the tags for this file that says lunchbox is connected to the Atom Shop. And if you've played Fallout Shelter's loot box system, because Fallout Shelter does have a loot box system, is made entirely of lunchboxes. So you buy a lunchbox, and you can get new people, weapons, companion dogs and cats and birds that enhance your game. And also you could get crafting materials for making weapons and money, which allows you to buy new spaces. So even if they start fixing bugs, it seems like Fallout 76 is going to be terrible. For different reasons. For different reasons now. Yeah. No.
Fallout 76 is the biggest disappointment in gaming history for me.
It's yeah. No, yeah. Cuz I wasn't even all that excited about what's it called?
About 76 or about
the other one that's considered the biggest disappointment.
4?
The other game. No. It's not Fallout.
Andromeda?
Oh god, don't get me started on that game. At least that one's playable.
Barely.
No. Battlefront 2.
Okay. How are you guys not connecting it's a spacefaring game that was supposed to have a ton of shit, but
No
just
Man's
didn't.
Sky.
Star Citizen.
No Man's Sky.
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen isn't even out yet, so it probably
Citizen.
will never come out.
The industry's most expensive loot box.
But yeah, I wasn't even all that like paying attention to that, but that was a pretty bad game. This one I was hoping would actually be good, and it turned out not to be, and it sucks. So with that, fucking hell, I hope Bethesda fixes their shit. I hope. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Because they just released Blades, and they just released this, which are two terrible things for their reputation. That's the gaming news of the week. Fuck Fallout 76. Now on to the main event.
All right, yeah, we'll make this one quick, but maybe some of you have seen this making the rounds on Twitter. Why the fuck? These fucking videos in the corner.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
I just saw the title. The title to this article.
Liberal clowns.
It's mind-numbing.
Liberal clown accuses conservatives of making clowns racist. Vows to redeem... Wait for it. Her people.
What the fuck?
Alright. So, we're
you two
taking
have read.
Pepe back. Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're taking Pepe back. He is mine.
Reacting to the news that white nationalists have purportedly adopted clowns as a racist symbol, a liberal woman who identifies as a clown announced she was reclaiming the symbol in the name of her people and the anti-Trump resistance.
Oh god.
Little Lunchbox, aka Bree Washington, is an obscure YouTube personality known for bizarre videos where she expresses her love for clowns. In a video streamed live to Facebook on Friday, Washington said she was disgusted at the alt-right's alleged co-opting of a meme depicting Pepe the Frog wearing a red nose and rainbow-colored wig.
I'm stuck on the phrase "who identifies as a clown."
A clown. It's an occupation, but all right.
Better add another letter onto the LGBTQAAID.
Hey, you guys, there's a tweet here too with the meme. It says by Dr. Honkler. They honked my original account. Please RT to help me find my friends.
Oh my
My
god.
friends.
For those just tuning in, Pig just got back from a vacation in the Bronx.
According to right-wing watch, far-right
Or
personalities
Chicago, I can't tell.
are attempting to link the clown Pepe image, also known as honk honk, with racism.
Okay,
You're not going to take my symbol, excuse me. You're not going to take symbol of happiness and acceptance and multiculturalism and turn it into something racist and anti-Semitic and homophobic and that word.
God.
Washington said in the video, which has since gone viral and been subjected to intense mockery from conservatives who see it as a sign of liberal derangement. See here, this is what you get. This is what you get when you take that I identify as bullshit too far.
Did you just become Crowder? Like,
I wanted to see how long I could keep it up.
You became Crowder trying to do Trump. Okay, and frankly, I don't like it. I can't even fucking do that. What am I saying?
So
Jesus
Pepe,
Christ.
he belongs to me now. He belongs to you? Not the okay.
Where's
Pepe
the
the Frog, with his curly ass afro wig, he belongs to me. That symbol, that is a symbol of resistance.
I just got threatened upon pain of death to never ever use that accent again.
So I should. All right, keep reading it. Buck.
Was it that good?
Or was it? That's a symbol of the resistance now, Washington added, apparently referencing the anti-Trump opposition movement. She encouraged her followers to take Clown Pepe back by photoshopping LGBTQ and pro-black symbols onto the meme. What? Yeah.
God, I had to hold to not cough that up. Oh.
We are taking Pepe back. He is mine.
Did she just say I'm adopting him. I'm saving him from these freaks, these degenerates. Who the fuck is she to call anyone a degenerate? What the fuck? You identify as a clown, the most hateful thing in the world, woman.
There's a video that
there's literally a documentary of a clown, an evil clown, several of them in fact, killing and eating people. They're called killer clowns from outer space.
Oh my god. All right.
This is not a fictional story. This is a real story. It actually fucking happened.
I want to play the video now after hearing that.
All right, we're fucking doing this.
All right, ready?
Okay, playing in 3, 2, 1.
I'm pissed off, and I'm angry, and I'm disgusted, and I made a video ranting.
I can't.
I can't watch that.
I fucking can't.
I can't watch that. No.
Yeah, stop. I'm not with a fucking face like that. What the fuck? What?
That was James Woods that posted that.
Yeah.
That's Jesus, what? Posted that with the comment "war" over clowns or frogs or something.
So I watched this earlier, and I was just going like, "What the fuck?"
Holy shit!
By photoshopping LGBTQ and pro, just going back to the whole thing, we need to Photoshop LGBTQ and pro-black symbols onto the meme. So you're taking something that you have said is a symbol of just like lightheartedness, and we're going to give it a political message.
Boom.
4chan has out-fucking-played you again. They didn't even make it political. You made it political, for fuck's sake.
Jesus.
Oh.
And on that, though,
There's
fuck
more
that
of
up.
the article.
And on
We
that
can-
note, I don't think we need to go over the rest of the article.
No, I think it's done.
No.
I think the article's done, buddy. I think we could stick a fork in it. It's that done.
The sweet and
Oh my
pro
god, there's one with Alex Jones in it, tinfoil.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. There is.
My latest Claters? Is that
Okay, we're ending it here now. Thank you everybody for
Yeah,
watching the show.
I need
This has
to
been-
stop before I shoot myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Monday night episode of Locked and Loaded. We thank you for joining us for the bullshittery and ass fuckery that has been tonight. Be sure to tune in on Friday to the Lesser Saints of Discord channel to catch the Pre-Sage show, which is our sister show, which one of us, at least, myself, is sometimes a guest upon. And also join us next Monday night. Same time, same place.
Where we try to do this article again and not want to die. What the fuck?
We're not going to try to do this article.
This should have been the article we did
this
on April Fool's Day.
This article shall be forever enshrined in one of the articles we will never do again. Just like every other article we're supposed to be doing. But for some reason, someone decides that he wants to do them again.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die.
And those are the closing statements from Buck. How about you, Pav? Those are the closing statements from Pav. Ladies and gentlemen.
Never shave your head to look like that. No matter if you're playing a clown or not. Go full afro or bald. Just never, ever take that look. Oh,
Thank
God.
you all, and good night.